All right, so we promised to take you back to the funeral service of Luzuko Koti, a media veteran, and currently on the podium, Lukon Amgouni, paying tribute to his very close friend. Let's go there live now.
Mama, and we will look after you. It's a lifetime commitment. I'm deeply pained because just a few years ago we were here in Port Elizabeth burying Luzuko's sister. I'm so torn about you, but bonke abama kabantwana bakho, you'll never need, you will never want. Sikhona, just a telephone call away, and anything, even the smallest thing, call us. We will be there for
Thank you. Thank you, Lukon. You see how a speculation within 2 sentences becomes a fact. We had delayed mentioning the names of prominent people amongst us here today because we just wanted to make sure that we don't leave anyone outside. May I, with Wasanda, acknowledge the presence of a member of Parliament, Mr. Umhlobo Wenene, and also mentioned, Lukon has already mentioned him, as a member of the Management Committee of the Western Cape MMC in Cape Town, Mr. Malusi Boy, or member of the Mayoral Committee, Mr. Malusi Boy. We also mentioned to you the president of former executive mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay, now I think it's called Gqeberha, for Mr. Gqeberha. He says Port Elizabeth. All those names are by Port Elizabeth, Gqeberha, Nelson Mandela Bay, you know exactly what he's talking about. May I also announce the presence of Luzuko's former boss at the SABC. We'll feature him later, I think, but he also played a very prominent role in Luzuko's rising as a journalist, and the former manager and the World Cup winning manager of the Springbok, Mr. Zolai. Thank you.
I also need to acknowledge Group Executive for Radio at the public broadcaster, Nada Ochela, and Dada Nagin Rudu Onenya. Instagram. She posted a picture of Luzuko with Yvonne Chaka Chaka. So she says, I've been meaning to give you one of these as I recently unearthed them from my junk. We were going to have a good laugh remembering this party many years ago. Must have been 2001 at Summer Strand Hotel. Yvonne Chaka Chaka had come to our shores to promote a new album, and our older colleagues and bosses wanted a simple bride at elbow joint. Cons, second elbow joint. Our bosses wanted a simple bride elbow joint. Those who know, know. You said, we can't have you We can't have that nonsense anymore. I'll even help you look for a vein. Indeed, things happened our way, and that was the start of a new way at Umhlobo Wenene FM. We were in our 20s, but we were so sure of the future we wanted to create. I'm so happy we found our way back to each other again before your final departure. Rest easy, my friend, Luzuko. The next group I want to introduce, just to note their presence amongst us, because I consider them so crucial in our society, especially since I've worked at the Department of Arts and Culture, now known as Sports, Arts and Culture. Former President Thabo Mbeki, when you ask him the question, what is the role of the Department of Arts and Culture in this country, when they conceptualize the existence, what is it for? He said to the person he was addressing, I need a week to explain it to you, but I'll say this much. For what does it profit man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? Which means that is why that department exists, because it is the nation's heart and soul. And in so doing, I want to acknowledge the presence of some artists amongst us. We've got Umhlobo We've got As I've said, we've got some prominent artists amongst us: Loyiso Bala, Renate Stirman. They're also in the audience. If we've missed you, we will revisit your name in due course. Right now, I'd like for us to enjoy a musical tribute for Ubadela that is going to be performed by Loyiso.
I think at this moment, I want to just greet the family, friends, and the rest of the distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I remember Luzuko around 2001, 2002. But years. And Keith no, there's a so I would join him I think now I went to put off down. And I used to sit and wonder, why do these people not go to sleep? At times I would say, Keith, maybe do television or something. I didn't know a lot about radio then, but very soon I was schooled, and not knowing that that a seed was planted. And then 20 years later, Zumoglendawo as the business manager for Umhlobo Wenene. And obviously many things happened in those 20 years, but that is the time when I really got close to Luzuko. August, he became the business manager for Channel Africa, and so whenever I want to complain about something, I want clarity on something, just so that I wouldn't expose myself to my other colleagues in terms of my insecurities. So I ask him, because I'm alone now, and maybe struggle on my own to get through it. But I must say, having him at the SABC, he was a brother to me. It was someone that I spoke to on a daily basis. But one thing I know is that all the lessons that I've learned, I'm going to take them forward and make sure that in my new role as a business manager, that we'll carry on and we'll carry on with the work. Unada, who's my boss now, and many others before. And so I think ndifuna ukuthi enkosi ngale ngoma ndizoyicula esithi you raise me up, because if it was not for them or any of them, I wouldn't have found myself in the place that I am today. Enkosi.
We have now come to the hour of challenges. We have a couple of technical problems. One, there's an interruption with regards to the live broadcast with various things, and our technical team is working on them. However, they are recording. I'm talking to the guys here and at home. They are recording, so if anything is missed, they will be available, they are recorded, and people can go back. And secondly, those technical challenges affect a number of other tributes that were sent to us. We plead to people, if your recording is not played at the appropriate time, please bear with us. This is the challenge of technology, and those tributes will then be available, as I said elsewhere. And please, once again, if your tribute at the appropriate time is not shown, please bear with us. We are also very troubled. Unfortunately, there's very little that we can do with regards to network and other relevant challenges. Lastly, our mandate is supposed to have ended temporarily at 11:30. It is now 5 minutes after 11:30. It means that in terms of our performance, we're not doing that well. But one thing that we're happy about is that we're celebrating a fine gentleman, a great man, and I think we need to have these overlaps here and there. So those are the challenges that we have. We apologize to the speakers that are going to come. Please do pay your tribute, but just mind the fact that we have already now passed the hour where we are supposed to hand over from Fundisi to the family. But we know that some of the things that happened, Umhlobo Wenene, he welcomed the body at home. So to a large extent, he has been communicating, but we're hoping, because as Gqeberha at the appropriate time. But all we are saying is that we are now running out of time.
When I was introducing the artists amongst us, I omitted to mention the name of Dr. Sylvester Funani, who is an integral part of Joyous Celebration. And I'm mentioning you now, since Amatula Sekhabe feature prominently in that music playbook, I humbly request that you raise Usiswa Unada Wachela, who is the group executive of SABC.
Former media personality as well there, Asanda Makaka, as well as former NPA spokesperson Sipho Ngwema, conducting the proceedings there of the funeral of media veteran Luzuko Koti, which is taking place in Gqeberha, also a former communications director at the Nelson Mandela Foundation. So we'll take a short break here on the program. We'll have more news when we get back.